In this video, I'm going to go over how to fix a common issue you may encounter in Excel when dealing with billions and millions of dollars, particularly when you've got a letter in the number. So in this case, I've got NFL team revenues, and some of them, or just the Dallas Cowboys, are in billions. The rest of them are in millions. And I copied this into Excel from another website, so it's sorted correctly. But if I were to actually sort this in Excel, if I go to the Data tab and click on Sort from Ascending Order from lowest to highest or from highest to lowest, you'll notice that once I do so, it's not going to sort correctly. The 1.27 billion is at the top because Excel is recognizing the 1 being the lowest number, but the rest of them are sorted in a different way. So that introduces a problem because now we can't sort this properly from largest to smallest. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at the very bottom here, which is incorrect. So how do we fix this? So the easiest way to fix this is to convert these numbers so that everything is in terms of millions of dollars instead of mixing in millions and billions, right? So how do we fix this? So what we can do in this case is use a combination of an if statement and the substitute statement to basically swap out these letters and convert them into numbers. So I'm going to start by using converting the billions, because we've got the billions right at the top, and that's really causing the main issues here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an if statement to say, okay, if, and I'm going to use the right function to look at the rightmost value. In this case, it's the B. So I'm going to say if that rightmost value is a B, then what I'm going to do is use the substitute function, which basically swaps out a text and puts something else in its place. So I'm going to select that value, which is the text value. And so the old text in this case is going to be that B. I want to get rid of that B. And the new text is going to be nothing. I just want to replace it. But I don't just want to do that. I also want to multiply this by a factor of 1,000. And by doing so, that's going to convert it into a number. And what it's also going to do is put it in terms of millions. So you can think of it as being, 1,270 millions of dollars, right? And that's going to force it to be in terms of millions, and that'll allow us to sort it properly. So I'm going to leave this false as a 0 for now, just to show you that that's what it converts at. So 1270, right? So 1,270 millions in terms of, instead of saying 1.27 billion. But this is going to allow us to sort the data properly now. So now, what about for the values that have millions? So in this case, I don't need to build another if statement because I'm only dealing with billions and millions. So it's either a B or it's going to be an M. So I don't need to create another if statement. Instead, what I'm going to do is use the substitute function again to say, okay, if a B wasn't found, then I know it's millions. In that case, what I'm going to do is take this text value, the old text for the millions is going to be the M. And then for the new text, again, I'm converting it to nothing. But what I'm going to do is multiply it by a factor of 1. I don't need to do anything to the millions because it's already in millions of dollars, but I just want to make sure that it's converted into a number. And I hit enter. And so obviously this one's not affected. This is still billions. But when I drag this down, you can see this one just shows the 580. And when the data is formatted to the right of the cell, it's reading as a number, whereas here on the left, it's reading as a text. So now I can copy this down, and now let's call this revenue in terms of millions of dollars. So I put that just to be clear that that's in millions. And so it's sorted, or it's calculated properly, and now I can actually go in and sort it. So now I'll go from largest to smallest. And so now you can see now the ranking is correct in terms of revenue. So we've got the highest to the lowest, and now if I did from smallest to largest, now we've got that largest value at the bottom. So now everything is being sorted properly. So if you're dealing with letters in your text, in your revenue values, or any sort of dollar values, that's the easiest way around that, is to use the substitute function to just get rid of that letter, and then just basically decide, do you want to put it in terms of billions, millions, whatever metric you're working with. And so that way, if it's consistent, it's a lot easier to sort it that way, because otherwise, if you have letters mixed in, it may not sort properly. So that's how we can fix this common issue in Excel. So that's all right for this video. If you did like it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.